Hey there and welcome back. My name is ADSaaron. Today I'm going to tell you why Overwatch absolutely needs a map maker. I know. Before you tell me, ADSaaron, a map maker is the least of our problems right now. Let me explain why a map maker is good for all of us, whether or not you plan on using it. I'm going to divide the player base into two categories. The first category will be the casual players. This is probably the majority of players. The second group is going to be the more hardcore or competitive players. What these two player bases want sometimes overlaps, but a lot of times those things don't overlap. And when Blizzard is spending time creating content for the casual player base, they're not creating content for the more competitive player base. At least not as much as they would have been able to otherwise. We need a map maker because it's a one-time investment that could entertain the casual player base for years to come. All that extra time and energy Blizzard could spend focusing on the competitive player base, they could focus on hero balance, they could focus on Overwatch League, just releasing new heroes in general. They wouldn't have to worry about creating these little seasonal events as much, which people aren't really enjoying that much anyway, not anymore. They wouldn't have to worry about doing, creating their own game modes like Team Deathmatch and whatnot. The casual player base could do all of that on their own. So in short, a map maker would allow players to entertain themselves, freeing up time for Blizzard to focus on more important stuff. Alright, well that will do it for that point. Let's move on to the second one. My second point is just that it's something that I feel like a game should have. It adds so much value to a game and the experience you have with that game that I'm really surprised a game this recent and from a developer as big as Blizzard doesn't have a map maker. I know in 2007 a console game by the name of Halo 3 came out that had not a full-fledged map maker but something very close to it, and this was over a decade ago on console. In the background right here, what you're looking at is actually a speed build in Halo 5. It's being done by a person that goes by the name of Unsorted Gaming. He was nice enough to let me use some of this footage, and in his video he says that this map you're looking at right here took him about 2.5 hours. Think about that. In 2.5 hours, on console, he was able to create a map that looks like this. Just think if somebody wanted to create a map in Overwatch and they wanted to put a whole day into it. The things that we could create are just endless, and I think that it would bring so much life into the game. It could really be what it needs to get its player base, back in an upward trajectory again, really bring in new people. I guess in short, for my second point here, it's just that a game this recent and from a developer this big should really have these types of features because of the amount of value they add. And I know that a ton of you have really good ideas that I'd love to see. I think I've got great ideas that I'd love for you to see. I mean, just imagine, the next time you're sick of playing competitive or quick play, maybe the arcade's not scratching that itch, you could always load up some crazy game mode that we probably can't even think of right now. But I'm sure the community is going to bring, a lot of hard work, dedication, a lot of talent, a lot of creativity to a map maker if we get one. I'm sure that just like me, a lot of you guys take breaks from Overwatch. You go, you play other games, you have fun somewhere else because you get burnt out on what Overwatch has to offer right now. If Blizzard made that investment into a map maker, maybe even giving us some more robust custom games options, I know those breaks from Overwatch would get shorter and they'd get less frequent because you would almost have a completely different game within Overwatch that you could play, so you wouldn't have to leave Overwatch to get that feeling that, you're taking a break from the traditional Overwatch grind. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. I appreciate you guys watching through this video. It's a little bit longer than some of my other ones. Obviously, I'm for a map maker, but let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, swear. Lately I've been staring in the mirror like, who is he? All this liquor can't be out there for my kidney.